The Nigerian Senate, has passed the 2020 Finance Bill transmitted by President Muhammadu Buhari on November 25th for consideration. The bill, which has 77 clauses, was passed following adoption of the report of the Senate Joint Committee on Finance, Customs, Excise and Tariff Trade and Investment and Public Procurement at the Committee of the Whole. Also, a report by McKinsey, well, we're at Talk Banking here, and company has stated that digitization will enable Nigerian banks to achieve between 25 and 40% cost reduction. The report also urged banks to plan for another round of consolidation in order to thrive beyond the crisis by growing their capital base faster than the rates of inflation and devaluation of the naira. The report emphasized that another round of consolidation was inevitable given the need to meet Basel III requirements, manage the possible deterioration of asset quality, and some foreign exchange-based commitments to service. Interesting, very interesting. Joining us to discuss these stories is Arise business analyst Chika Mbonu. Chika, you're very welcome.
How are you today?
Fine, sir. Thanks for joining us. Lots to discuss today. Let's start with the pipeline funding from the Chinese consortium. Good news. What do you make of it?
Yeah, the project is a laudable one. From Ajaokuta, crisscrossing several states, 614 kilometers. Part of actually the Nigerian Trans-Gas pipeline project. Also part of the Trans-Saharan gas project, about 4,000 kilometers, that will enable gas be supplied to European countries. And about three phases of the project. The first phase is from Ajaokuta to Abuja, and then Abuja to Kaduna, and then Kaduna to Kano, covering several total of 614 kilometers. The loan is a 12-year tenor loan at 3.7% LIBOR, and a good for project. 15% equity supplied by the federal government of Nigeria, and the balance of 85% backed up, insurance cover given by Sinosure, and then backed up by Nigerian sovereign guarantee. So it's a laudable project to gather gas from Ajaokuta and then move it along the route to those places. Helps to reduce gas flaring, which improve air quality, reduce pollution for the society. Line up gas along the route for power plants, for domestic consumption, and even for oncoming petrochemical projects. So it's a very good project. Okay. Initially submitted by NNPC to ICRC, Infrastructure Concession and Regulation Commission, with a feasibility study that looks at, based on law in Nigeria, to make sure the project is viable. Yes. And then, of course, go to Federal Executive Council for approval, and then becomes a project. So it's a very good project for the country. Very, Chika, you sound like an oil and gas analyst. Very thorough, very thorough. What about debts? Chika, what about the ongoing conversations about the Chinese and how they do debts and how the arrangements? I don't have, I haven't concerns. I haven't cited the feasibility study. Right. But I mean, the project of the feasibility study will, I believe, incorporate how to recover the debt. Project-based loans are good. Right. If the projects are managed properly. And to completion. This project is going to be 24 months with 2023 completion. Okay. So is the value creation from those loans should be able to repay the loan if the project is managed properly. I don't have problem with project-based loans. The projects are managed properly. The ones who have are those ones that they will bring and then convert to Naira and share among the states, and state governors and the other people will just be using it to buy more cars for their convoys. Right. And then, they continue to live the lifestyle for the unborn children to repay. Right. Consumption loans are not what we want. These are project-based loans. And if the project is managed properly from beginning to the end, and the objectives are achieved, the value creation and contribution to GDP should be able to, pay back the loan. Fantastic. Chika, what do you make of China's relationship with Africa? There's so many. They've got loans across the continents. It's being said that this is their step towards becoming the next superpower, usurping the United States. I don't want to talk about it, address it that way. Right. That's okay. The issue is, are they helping out? That's the main point. Right. Okay. Now, be hitherto, we didn't have Abuja, Kaduna Rail. Has he helped?
Yes, it
He
has.
has helped.
It has.
Now, the Ibadan-Lagos rail is coming to fruition. Is he going to help? He's going to help.
It will.
And also talking about this project now. So he's going to help. Now, never you think that China is not getting something from this.
Right.
Remember, paying them interest. And you know something else? I told you this project has 3 phases. The 3rd phase, which is Kaduna to Kano, is the cost about $1.2 billion. It's a Chinese construction company that's going to do that.
That's doing that.
Do that. The first phase is done by Owando and another Nigerian company that's going to in partnership. But this last one, the major one, $1.2 billion, is not going to be done by a Chinese construction company. So they are funding and also providing the contractor. So, but the project is actually under all the time we talk about that the government cannot do all. This is under the PPP arrangement, the public-private sector initiative, and under the build, manage, operate, and then transfer scheme, the boot scheme.
Right.
So it's going to add value. If the project is managed properly, let it not be like a Jakarta Steel that will be constructing for 200 years now.
Right.
But if the project is completed on time, value is created, and then the economy is better for it.
Fantastic. Final question on this, Chika. I've asked you too many questions on this. Do you ever see a future where we can have this conversation where it's Nigeria providing the expertise to develop infrastructure in another country with the way?
The truth is that I've seen where projects like this are packaged in other countries.
Yes.
Ab initio, it includes the use of the country engineers, the training of the country citizens, and then the transfer of technology and knowledge. I don't know how ours are packaged, and that's a major issue for us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. All right. So very informative and very positive on that. Let's move to the finance bill, Chika. What do you make of the latest progress?
We talked about this last year.
Yes.
That for the first time, there's a good practice of tagging the budget with the finance bill. That's how it's done in most good economies. Because the finance bill helps to explain or support the implementation of the budget with new policies and align our tax practices to best practices worldwide. And that's last year they started it, that with time they drop the budget, they tag along with the finance bill, so which is commendable. We commend the government for continuing that practice, of tagging the budget along with the finance bill. And the finance bill in this one has about 17 amendments to various laws existing laws in our country, including our common income tax, value-added tax,
yes.
capital gains tax, even custom and excise tariffs, even industrial development, income tax relief. That's the Procurement even Act. About 17 major laws are affected in this, and it addresses those issues to help support the implementation of the budget with good tax policies, and that would include custom and tariffs also, and that's the consistent practice. That's the best practice that a lot of countries use to enable them support their budget. And you find something like in this one, for example.
Yes.
It talks about the government for a long time now has supported aviation.
Yes.
And talked about giving waivers to aviation industry. But the implementation with the custom people has always been a problem.
Yes.
You hear the airlines talk about the fact that even the government President has made these pronouncements that have been implemented because they're not been backed up by an act. So this finance bill now includes that. Okay. Things like free duty and levy for commercial airlines operations. And then he also talked about duty on agricultural equipment. So he also support the direction now, the diversification of economy from oil and gas to agriculture. There are issues on CGT returns, donations on company income tax, how to treat them better. VAT exemptions on commercial aircraft, engines, spare parts, tractors and equipment for agriculture.
Farming.
Yes,
again, we've talked about that several
electronic
times.
levy collections and how to share it. Federal government is the collection agency, but the states will get 85%, and federal government will collect 15% because the collection agency. So all these amendments are to support the revenue drive of the government and align our practices to best practices. And so that even foreign investors abroad, when they look here and see our tax regimes, they'll be encouraged to come and invest. Fantastic.
Chika, I can't let you go without asking you this one more question. The McKinsey reports that said to look at a possible banking consolidation in a minute or two, if you can. What's your thoughts on that?
When your revenues have fallen,
yes.
what do? You watch your costs. And Nigerian banks have expanded on the brick and mortar and the fiscal space with so much footprint. So it's saying that the digitalization will allow you to reduce those footprints and reduce your cost of operation. Indeed, in our work with some of the banks, we are recommending what we call phygital.
Yes.
Phygital means a combination of the physical and the digital to align at a balance, an equilibrium that enable you render service to the customers.
Okay, so your analysis is always always fantastic. Arise business analyst Chika Nbono, thank you so much for taking us through
Thank
this.
you, sir.
Chika.
Thank you.